They come from a lot of areas.
Everyone is assigned a different room in the dorm. You have alumni next to new families, and they all immediately start forming a sense of community. A lot of our families, this is the one time they see each other each year. This is their reunion.
Here, you do the top, I'll do the bottom. Our first year that we came, our doctor said, I want you to meet this family, and it's the Cranes. And because we didn't know anybody when we came. And so it's fun to get together and just visit. We had dinner last night, all four of us, and we're about to go have lunch together, and it's just fun.
Welcome to the Jambalaya Jubilee! This program is about families networking with each other, with your kids to find out that they're not the only one that has arthritis, and for y'all to know that you're not the only family that has arthritis either.
For our family, the encouragement from the other families, priceless. You may not be healed in your body from being here, but you will be blessed here.
You just can't imagine the caliber of these physicians that come here. They're the best in the world. It is incredible.
You get treated, it goes into remission.
And these parents get one-on-one with them, talk to them, get that information.
The immunity which is damaging the joint.
You experience so many emotions in one weekend. The feeling that you get every single year when you know you want to come back.
Yes, I will be a Jambalaya Jubilee camper for life. My name is Erin Bergeron.
1, 2, 3.
I am from Houston, Texas.
Okay, we're gonna do a silly one now.
I have been coming to this camp for probably about 21 years. So I was diagnosed when I was 2 with JRA, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and I am 24 this year. So this camp has meant a lot to our family. And we want to make sure we start this experience on a fun note. So taking silly pictures is something we do with them. And just kind of be a welcoming face to them and set the stage for what this weekend has to offer. You see children and families walking in kind of shy.
Y'all look here. 1, 2, 3. Big smile.
They don't know what Jambalaya Jubilee is about.
Allie's always been a very shy child, very kind of introverted. I think due to her illness, just absolutely heart-wrenching to watch your grandchild be in pain every day. She hurt so much all the time, and she didn't really crawl, and she didn't walk, and she really didn't move around a whole lot because she was in pain. She didn't really like for you to hold her very much as an infant or anything because it hurt.
We don't know what triggers it. Your body feels like there's a foreign object or an organism that's in a joint. I'm an adult rheumatologist who practices in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I volunteer performing a juvenile arthritis clinic at Shriners Hospital in Shreveport, Louisiana. I kept on having children that would come to my clinic because there wasn't a juvenile arthritis clinic in Shreveport at that point. So I thought, gosh, what can we do to really help kids to better be able to deal with the frustrations for chronic illness? And so we came up with the idea of perhaps starting a camp.
In his fellowship, he had trained under a pediatric rheumatologist that he really was kind of Tom's mentor, Dr. Cassidy.
I think that Tom is a remarkable person. I just can't imagine, knowing how this is done, how you can possibly get this done.
This is from one of our very first Jambalaya Jubilees. Well, you know my daughter, Catherine. So Catherine's right here. She's about 6 years old at that point.
I had a 5-year-old brother, and Jambalaya Jubilee is my parents' 3rd child. They live for Jambalaya Jubilee. I was in small groups with Erin Bergeron and Whitney Willis, and I grew up with them. They feel like sisters to me, even though none of my direct siblings have arthritis. These are my siblings with arthritis.
I've been coming here for, I think, 22 years. Started when I was 3 years old, and I'm 27 now. It's life-changing when you leave here. Every year, you leave with a, wow, you know, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to know these people and to get this much information. I'm so blessed to know the Presleys, to have these friendships, to have all this fun.
It feels weird to have like really, really close friends, but you only see each other 3 days a year.
I thought that maybe I was one of the few kids that had arthritis, but since I came to these camps, it seemed that there are thousands of other kids that have this disease.
Y'all want to all go around and say your name and where you're from?
I'm Bryce, and I'm from McAllister, Oklahoma.
We break the nervousness immediately. They are assigned quickly into small groups.
Have you ever been bowling?
I've never been bowling.
You've never been bowling?
And immediately rush off to buses to bring them to the bowling alley. While the kids are busy with bowling, the parents are also rushed over to their classrooms, and we break everyone into 4 small groups. They share what specific struggles they're having.
You know, you don't want to scare them. And you definitely don't want them to get the woe is me thing going on. Right. But you do want them to realize that what they have is very serious at the same time.
I think you could go ahead and start telling her exactly what she has.
If your child has, and how much, you know, how long did it take to get them into remission? How long have they been in remission?
We try to get information, up to the minute, last second information by all the docs and all of the rheumatologists that come in from all over the country.
Well, I mean, this is just a wealth of knowledge. This is so much perspective and so much experience and so much education all sitting right there at your fingertips. It's kind of like if you're a sports fan and you got to meet like all of your favorite sports heroes from history all at once and got to talk to them. It's kind of like that.
Julia was diagnosed really technically right after her 14th birthday. She had a great attitude. She never really grieved or got angry. I grieved, and then I was so angry. I was so angry for so many months and so alone and afraid. And I remember asking the pediatrician before we even got to the rheumatologist, you know, will she be able to have children? Is she going to be wheelchair bound? Is she going to die before?
Fear is probably one of the biggest obstacles in confronting this thing.
Why do you think this hit your parents so much harder than it hit you?
That's a funny question. It seems like when you're dealing with something yourself, you can say, oh, I can handle this. But then when it's somebody that you love, you're very close to, you want to say, why can't I handle it for them, you know?
I'm still, I think, trying to come to grips with that she has this and that it's a lifelong thing. And do you ever really get to a point where you're okay with it and you've accepted their diagnosis?
Most common thing that's happening in the families is feeling overwhelmed. They get so discouraged, they have packed all this stuff in for so long that they really do feel isolated, they feel helpless, they feel alone. So when we try to crack that barrier and they begin to take that risk and truly find out, I really am not alone. You really do understand what I'm talking about. Gosh, you've been there.
You get to a point where you at least know that you can cope. You at least know that your kid is still going to be able to be an amazing person. And it's, you know, there is no perfect life, right? Just our imperfect is a little bit different from somebody else's imperfect. But it's still life, and it's still awesome, and it's still your kid.
If you look out at the kids, you'd be hard pressed to tell which ones have arthritis. It's still a process that's going on inside their bodies, where the immune system is attacking whatever was decided is not good for it, and you don't see the battle going on inside. unless you're close to them and you see them on a daily basis.
It's actually really fun to spend time with people who understand what you're going through. People look at me and they say, oh wow, you know, she looks normal, but then the next day when I show up in a wheelchair, they're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? And I used to dance, I used to be a ball of energy all over the place. You can do things like everybody else can, but it's a little bit harder.
Savannah has junior rheumatoid arthritis. She walked around the house like she was, 80 years old. Everything hurt. You just see all the stuff that she goes through. And sorry. She amazes me. Because even while she's hurting, she'll tell me, I know there are people that hurt more than I do.
My name is Lynn Foray.
My name is Ricky Foray.
Kayla, our youngest child, was diagnosed with mixed connective tissue disease. She had the lupus, the dermatomyositis with the rheumatoid, and it was to the point where the slightest touch was painful for her. She didn't tell us at the time, but she thought she was dying, on and off through the years. And we lost her on September 20th of 2001.
Kayla was such an active participant in the camp during those years. And sadly, the medications weren't what they are now, and she lost her fight.
The Forays are an amazing family. They're a very giving family. I think it's a way for them to live through the Jambalaya Jubilee through what Kayla would desire, through Kayla's wish to be able to be an asset for families when they first came down with arthritis, to show them that you can go through this.
Every year when it comes to this time, I talk to her and say, it's because of you we're here, we're going to see your family again.
We truly feel that she's watching over us.
This is awesome. It not only helps me, but it helps my brother, my sister, my mom, and my dad, and it helps everybody. I'm going to be a counselor here. I'm going to do whatever I can to keep coming back.
I went on and became an engineer. I traveled the world in my free time. I'm getting married. Arthritis is not something to stop you, to put a hindrance on the dreams that you want to set for yourself.
I got married in March. People with arthritis are not weak at all. You have to be strong because you're in pain all the time. Your life doesn't stop after your diagnosis. It's not the end of the road.
This camp means hope. This camp means friendship. This camp means that there are people all over this country that are walking our same walk. Dr. Presley and Miss Presley are angels straight from heaven, as far as we're concerned. And we always say this, I'm so sorry that all these people are here. I'm sorry they have arthritis, but I'm so glad to know them.
Well, we just know now that there's a whole lot more out there. It's not as grim as it could be. There's a lot more. There's stuff that's coming down, new innovations, new technologies, new medicines. And so there's a lot more things to look forward to that's changed how we look at what she has.
I think our stars are really our families and our children. And I think it's just amazing what people will do to extend themselves to help another family that's having difficulties.
If we can provide them a vacation that's fun and educational at the same time, I don't know what better blessing there is.